Hello, I'm Nige.
And I'm Anders. Welcome to the review. We're going back to an old type beer today. Nige, tell them what we're doing.
Well, we've done this out and about.
It
wasn't that about? It's not a review, but Stella Artois. Now, the only reason we're doing this is because we want to compare it to this Stella Artois Unfiltered.
Yeah.
The original Stella is now, well, not that original now because it's 4.6%. The new one that's just come out is 5%. Now, Anders will fill us in with a little bit of the history of it. But do you want to do that while you get the first one in the glass?
Well, let's come on. Let's get the beer cam on, if we dare. Fresh glass.
So it's
bottle of Dewberry.
Stella. Normal Stella we're going for first.
Normal Stella 4.6. Absolutely. Yep. Recording in progress. Brilliant. Actually, immediately, the bottle one has a nice aroma to it.
I got that as soon as I opened it.
Yeah. And that's interesting because I've never had that before. I'm not a lager drinker.
It's not a Stella smell. It's more of a sweet
it's got
fragrance wafting through the air there.
It reminds me a little bit of Beck's.
Well, I mean, this really doesn't smell like the Stella I used to know.
No, actually smelling it in the glass is a bit different. It doesn't smell as inviting as it did from the bottle.
It doesn't actually smell that inviting at all. But
no, it doesn't. Now, you see, this was initially, Stella in Britain was initially coming in at 5.2%. 2008 brought down to 4.8, I think we said, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was dropped. It's all to do with tax.
Yeah.
On large breweries, there's anything under 5% is taxed less than anything above. Smaller breweries don't have that. The little micro ones don't have that issue. So the big ones, when you're making this sort of vast, the quantity they're making, it's quite significant. That's saving you tax. So it was a financial decision to drop it.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with taste or anything. It's just they wanted to save more money.
Right. Well, come on. Let's not F about anymore.
Yep.
Let's get it in. Go on. Chin chin. Now, I was going to say it's not as bad as I remember it.
It is.
In the pub. But I have to say, there wasn't much I remembered about the pub anyway. We were that far gone.
And then we had a latte afterwards.
And in the words of Baloo the Bear, man, we were solid gone. Initially, quite refreshing.
And that gives way to a little bit of wateryness.
Yeah. And then there's a little twist at the end, which is, I think, malty. But it's not nice.
No. The finish isn't that nice. It's almost like the old Stella's trying to get through, but it's just been beaten to death and is not allowed to come out to play.
Yeah.
I used to like Stella. The amount of times I used to go into a pub and you look and see what's on the hand pool and you think, oh, Doom Bar, or there'd be an uninviting best bit, or John Smith's cream float. Well, and you think, oh, I'll have a lager.
Yeah.
And Stella was always my fallback because every pub had Stella, and that's what I'd have.
Okay, that's interesting. Because normally in that situation, I'd agree with you. Sometimes during the heat of the summer, you don't want a shite best bitter.
Yeah.
You want something refreshing. But my go-to was always, therefore, ciders.
All right, yeah. Well, in
So
my early days, it was cider because I used to
yeah,
drink cider over beer most of the time. But
okay,
in the early days,
right, okay. This is it's full of bubbles. It's very carbonated, isn't it? It's quite
yeah,
bloating, isn't it?
I'm not relishing the prospect of getting through this big bottle, but
I'm only hoping
we'll
that the unfiltered.
persevere. We're doing it for you, the viewer,
Yeah,
so you don't have to.
exactly. That was a big break we took there. We discussed many things. We won't go into that right now. All you need to know is that this has stayed true. It hasn't changed the whole way through.
Stay true.
It's
True
stayed.
to the first rubbish that we tasted.
Yeah. It's gone
Yeah,
from
yeah.
crap to crap.
Well, just stayed at crap all the way through.
Stayed crap. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. It's got very little taste. I was very excited when I first cracked that bottle open, and there was an aroma that came off it that I thought had an essence of Beck's. I thought, oh, this is good.
Lulls you into a false sense of security.
It really does. Yeah. First smell in the glass, disappointing. First taste, bit watery. Funny taste at the end.
That funny taste at the end's not as bad at the end. Basically, in the break, we were chatting for ages and we got a bit distracted.
Yeah, we did.
We were just drinking it as if we were at the pub. And that was the way to drink it because I didn't notice it.
Do you know, that's a good point you make there. You go to a pub and that's why things like Carling and Carlsberg will sell, because
you're talking
you're
rubbish
not talking,
with your mates.
Yeah. And you're not thinking about your beer. You're just getting bollocks.
Yes.
Right. So look, come on, let's see this Stella Artois off.
I've done mine. I'm waiting for the next one. No, I have tasted this one. I had this last week on holiday.
You did, didn't you?
I did.
Don't spoil it for me.
No.
Right. Now, bear with, because I've got to get through several apps. Come on, you little. There we go. Onto my beer can. Let's get this running and let's get the unfiltered in the glass. Right, okay. I'm not getting any particular vibe from it to start with.
I think it smells very similar to the last one.
Can I just say, actually, before I forget, I'd seen this a couple of weeks ago and mentioned it to Nige, but I want to shout out to Fireblade128, who, when commenting on one of our reviews, mentioned the Stella. Oh, I can't talk. The Stella Artois Unfiltered, and yeah, it pushed us on. So thank you, Fireblade128.
I wasn't aware of it until that comment. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So,
yeah, it smells very similar to the Stella Light.
I think there's just a little bit of difference. Just
yeah, I know what you mean. It's
a bit sharper.
Yes, sharper. Both use the same word. Yeah.
There we go. And if I'm going to be a tosspot about it, a bit more piquant. I don't know what that means.
Right, let's get in.
Chin chin. No. That's interesting, isn't it?
Number one, I haven't got that wateriness.
No.
It's much smoother. You got a much more level
It hasn't got that carbonation of the
No,
Stella
and
Light.
it's more like old Stella, how it used to be. I think it's still not quite there, but it's.
Yeah, that's an interesting beer. Excuse me.
I remember the olden days at Stella, the adverts they used to have, they were works of art. And it was, they used to pour it black and white film or grainy or whatever. And it was the catchphrase reassuringly expensive because it was a bit more pricey.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because you're going in, it was a quality beer. Well, that's what it was advertised at. It's just cut price rubbish now. But making it cheaper and cheaper. That premium is gone now, and they're still clinging to that reputation it did have.
Yeah, and I think because it's so imprinted on the nation's
The
mind,
brand, yeah.
It's you sit in a pub, you automatically go for it. And I think that has kind of stuck in the head. Reassuringly expensive. It's not. It's less strong.
This one, I've got that Belgian beer taste on this one.
Yeah.
Which Stella used to have. The old one, I think that Belgian beer taste is there, but it's so down in the mix now. It just comes out as an odd aftertaste, and it's not that great. Here, it's more pumped up, and it makes sense.
Yes, I think it. Yeah, there's a lot less carbonation in here. It's a lot creamier. Not quite the word I'm looking for. Smoother. I think you said smoother.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a little window. Well, by jiggery. That's 2 big bottles of Stella down very quickly.
Well, actually, it wasn't that quickly. We've had quite
we have actually fair point,
talking about absolute rubbish as you would down the pub.
Yeah. All I was trying to do is excuse our unprofessionalism that might come as a result of this.
Yeah.
Because we're
squiffy.
Yeah. The Stella Unfiltered is really interesting.
I like it.
I think Nigel said, and I certainly said before, that I've never been much of a lager drinker. And these sort of things were never in my, on my radar, really. So I don't know what Stella at 5.2% tasted like. At 4.6, it's bland, uninteresting.
It's nothing like the old drink.
No.
The unfiltered one it's almost there. But I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's almost like I think they had to go. If they just brought out Stella 5%, it would have shown that they'd made a mistake by dropping the ABV.
That's an interesting point you make there. Yeah.
And just, we've made a mistake. We've destroyed the drink. So here's the proper one back.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that. So they had to do something different. Oh, let's make it unfiltered. So it's, so it's got the same taste, but almost unfiltered. And they save a bit of money not having to filter it.
And there's that, but also it's at 5. So is it 5% and under that you lose the tax, or is it under 5%?
Under 5%. So they've taken a hit on that just to get the old. Yeah, it's a marketing thing because 5% is better, and that's what the old one was. Well, they had 5.2. I'm sure it went to 5% before it went to 4.8.
Yeah,
but that's more in keeping with what old Stella was like.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really nice. It was nice, level. Creamy is not quite the right word, but it had a smoothness,
isn't it? Yeah. I like it very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, look, let's leave it there.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. like, comment, subscribe. Good night.
Goodbye.